What is up, guys? Just gonna go around and go over everything pretty much. Here's my plan. I'm gonna pull this oil pan off with this engine in the car. I'm going to reseal that oil pan, and I'm also going to check the torque on all the connecting rods, and then I'm going to take that valve cover off the back and check those cams, make sure that's all torqued down. I can pretty much check everything besides piston rings, which I have good compression, so my rings should be fine. I'm going to check all 6 of them though. All I've checked so far is just these front 3. So when I do plugs again, I'll put a compression tool on the back and check compression back there. I'm just gonna go over every little thing. I'm still leaking something. That is engine oil. That is definitely way too much engine oil to ignore. All right, so yeah, the transfer case has got to come off. This bracket's got to come off. Exhaust has got to come off. Oil returns got to come off, both sides. Drop this oil pan. Dude, this is ridiculous. I try my best not to get upset. I'm just gonna tell you the whole story. I got a hold of Story Motors. They said that they've done a couple of these engines. They were comfortable with them. They were more than willing to do it for me. They told me 4 to 6 weeks. I called them 10 weeks in. They said, hey, we had a couple race engines come in. They're willing to drop like 30 grand. So they went ahead of you. It's the middle of winter. I told them when I dropped it off, I wasn't in a real big rush because I was trying to paint the engine bay. I said, all right, that's fine. 22 weeks went by. I called them, and when they picked up the phone, you could just hear it in their voice that they completely forgot about me and said they were getting ready to put it back together. I called them 30 weeks in, and you could just tell again that they didn't even touch it. Just, he was surprised to even hear from me. He had no idea who I was. And then 32 weeks, he called me and said it's ready to be picked up. So what I think happened was that they forgot all about me. And then after they had it for 30 weeks, they immediately just slapped it back together. They didn't replace the oil pump. They didn't replace the water pump. I know they didn't on both of those. Like I talked about, the oil pump had stripped bolts, and I told them that. And when I got it back, those bolts were still stripped. I got footage of that. I might throw that up right now. I just never put it in a video because I didn't want to dog them. I don't know, that's just spinning pretty much. This is just rounded off in there. That's a LS bolt. The thread pitch is different, so I just cut new threads with that bolt. I think that's part of the oil pump, which wouldn't make sense because I had them put a new oil pump in. If those threads are part of the oil pump, then that means the engine builder didn't give me a new oil pump. Same thing with the water pump. The water pump's got a little corner missing out of it, like where someone dropped it. I know they didn't do it. And it's just leaking oil everywhere. Just as many oil leaks as I did when I gave it to them. That is like the main reason why I had this thing rebuilt, is because I was dripping oil out of everything. Let's drain this oil. I need to stop complaining about it. It's not gonna change anything the more I complain about it. Yeah, at least it's not glistening, I guess. Not just full of metal. Okay, I'm not really seeing anything metal that like sticks out, anything crazy. I ran a magnet through there. At least there's no oil back here. Not leaking anything out of my rear main. At least my flywheel isn't covered in oil. Yeah, dude, they got so much silicone around the outside of this. Yeah, pretty much just been going around this whole thing with an X-Acto knife the whole time, trying to get some of that off. It's kind of loose. The back, where I said there's a lot, there is a lot. The front's loose. I don't think they really put that much silicone up front, and that's why I'm leaking. I gotta take this piece of the subframe out, so I really don't want to. I cannot believe that there's a chunk missing of silicone right here. I can feel it with my finger. See that? There's no silicone there. All right, I gotta take a razor blade across all of this and get all this old shit off. If you're doing your oil pan, make sure you get all your old silicone off so it can seal nice. It was dripping right here. I don't know if it was coming from the oil pan or if it's coming from that main seal that's in this oil pump. So I'm gonna do the oil pump, guys. Dude, there's no reason to have this much silicone in some spots and then none in others. Alright boys, I'm back out here. I am having a little bit of trouble with the oil pump. One of you guys jinxed me. I called a bunch of parts stores yesterday and they all said they'd give me the oil pump. And one of you guys left a comment last night saying that you bought one of the last 2 oil pumps in the country, and they all called me back today and said they cannot get the turbo one. There is a main seal on there I guess I could take out and replace the main seal. Everyone gave me the option to buy that seal. I'm sure I can get an oil pump from 3SX or Ninja or something like that, but it's gonna be a couple weeks before I get it. I was hoping to get it in this video, to get this bottom end put back together. I think Adrian's gonna come over. We're gonna crack these all open and put plastic gauge in there and see how far off they are. I'm gonna get these belts off, pull this cover back off, and see if I can see in there, see if it's leaking oil. Oh yeah, dude, there's so much oil in there. There's no even hiding that. This oil pump's gotta come out. So there's oil above this lip. That means it's leaking from the pump. Yeah, dude, it's covered in oil in there. Let's just start taking everything apart. Record it, but you have to get this motor mount out. You gotta get that out to get to that bolt that holds that cover on. Okay, I took that cover off and then I put the motor mount back in. I'm gonna be working underneath this a lot, and I just feel safer if that motor mount's on there, especially with that part of the subframe out. I don't know, I just feel a lot safer if this side's held up, especially since I'm working on this side. The whole engine wants to lean this way, right on top of my face. Now, you guys should be able to see that lip. This bracket's gotta come off for sure. This whole bracket right here. All this has gotta come off. By the way, I'm trying my best to stay in a good mood when the camera's rolling. So if I'm coming off like a little snobby brat, I don't mean to. I'm really pissed off that I have to do this. The whole time the camera's not on, I'm just a whole bunch of F them. I'm just super upset that I have to redo everything, because I should just built this engine myself to begin with. I can't see the camera, so hopefully you guys can see that bolt right there is an LS head bolt, because that's what's stripped out. To get this timing belt off, you gotta take this tensioner out and then loosen up that pulley right there. Those two bolts on the tensioner, there and there, and then that pulley bolt. See that? Look at that. That's ridiculous. And then, like, what are the odds of a new water pump having that same scuff in there? Right there. There's no way that, like, they got a new oil pump and then, like, dropped it in the same exact spot that whoever had this car before me dropped it. Look at the seal, it's all jacked up. So I bought that gasket kit, so at least I got all new gaskets. Here's the oil pump gasket, and here's actually a new main. So I don't know if I want to get a whole new pump. So my problem with this one and how I knew they didn't replace it was that bolt right there stripped out. But it doesn't go anywhere, it just holds that. I tapped it, and now an LS head bolt fits in there. So I mean, it's not gonna leak there. That's not a big problem, that's fixed. But I cannot find an oil pump anywhere. I found one on Amazon, I bought it. It'll be here Tuesday. The reviews are not that good. There's a couple reviews saying that it was leaking as soon as they got it. You don't really want to mess around with a cheap oil pump. If the gears are junk and they're sloppy and you got low oil pressure, you'll blow it up. At least this one's an OEM pump. I can't make up my mind if I should just replace this seal or if I should just use like a Chinese knockoff pump. Alright, so Adrian stopped over. He's going to plastic gauge these and check the torque on all of these bearings. We were talking, I think I'm just gonna stick with the OEM pump instead of going with like a Chinese knockoff, and I think I'm just gonna replace my seal because I got a brand new seal. And if I get some Chinese knockoff and the gears are off or the tolerances aren't good, it's not gonna have good oil pressure. It just seems like a nightmare that I don't really want to deal with. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna clean this all up, get all the silicone off. Alright, sorry the camera wasn't on because I'm an idiot. How I got this out, if you ever try to do it, is I just had a screwdriver in there. You don't want to scratch this, but you get a screwdriver in there kind of at an angle and then up against the aluminum and hit it downwards like this and it'll pop out. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. You don't want to scratch this. So Adrian just put a plastic gauge in here and torqued it down. Check the tolerances. They definitely were torqued down.
Yeah, they're all 38.
We just want to check clearances real quick.
So right there is a standard value for rebuilt, which is 0.008 to 0.0020. Yeah, you're in spec.
Alright, so it's in spec. So at least they didn't screw that up. And we can definitely tell that all the bearings are new. Because I mean, they definitely gave me my old bearings back. We were going through some of them. Some of them are toasted. Some of them aren't that bad. And this one's just half copper. At least the bottom end's good. I gotta get all this old gasket off. So I'm gonna go up in here with a razor blade. Try not to nick anything. I got this all cleaned up, wiped it all down with brake cleaner, then final wipe, alcohol pretty much. Same thing over here, this is all clean. Oh, and we looked up, you put this pump on the car first, and then put this on. So that's what we're gonna try to do without screwing anything up. All right, I got the gasket on here because they're studs. Everything we're reading online, everyone just uses the paper gasket. No one's using silicone on this like they did. All right, you gotta make sure these little grooves in here are lined up with these flat points on the crank. That's what turns the oil pump. Okay, now that I got that on there, everything we looked up was saying to put the main seal on after you get the pump on. Oh my god, I wasn't recording that whole time. I just thought I turned the camera off and I actually just turned it on. Sorry about that, guys. That grease helped out a lot. to get that main seal in there. Cover yours in grease if you ever do your oil pump. Put the oil pump on first, cover your seal in grease, and it kind of just wants to slide on there. And then you could probably use a socket, but I used part of my press kit and I just tapped it in. I really am sorry about that. All day I wanted to make sure I recorded that so you guys knew not to screw it up like the engine builder did. Grease your seal up, slide your seal on, it'll go in halfway. Then once it gets around that spring, it starts to get tight. Then just barely tap it. So much better than what it looked like this morning. No rips, no tears, no nothing. Alright, all I gotta do is start putting this back together. I think I recorded most of it, taking it apart. Just opposite. Gotta put the oil housing on, start putting brackets back on, start putting the timing belt back on. It's gonna be a nightmare. I'll see you guys in about 8 hours. Alright guys, pretty much ready to put the oil pan on. I've just been hitting this over and over and over again with some final wipe. Get all the oil and grease off so the silicone sits good. We're ready to put this oil pan on. We're gonna put RTV on here. And then I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna hit the bottom of that block with final wipe, get all the grease and oil off, pretty much with like alcohol, and just hurry up and put it on there real quick. You're gonna wanna put RTV on the inside of these grooves and then go all the way around each bolt. All right, there we go. I got a lot on there, but I kinda got it, hopefully so it oozes out. Okay, I just wiped everything down with final wipe. Been about a minute. I'm gonna probably give it another minute so it can dry. Ready?
Yep, slide it back towards you a little bit. Right there.
Well, it's up there. We just got them all hand snug. Not even hand tight. We're gonna wait a good half hour. Barely squirting out. I'm gonna wait a half hour, then tighten it up, torque it down. I'm gonna start putting this all back together. I'm gonna put that bracket back on the transmission, put the transfer case on, the drive shaft, the exhaust. I've recorded that multiple times. I don't think you guys need to see that again. Adrian doesn't want to be here all night, and he's here helping me. So we're just gonna hurry up and throw all this back together, and we're gonna put it in time. I'll bring you back right before we put it in time. I'll walk you through how to put it in time this time since I didn't do it last time. To get this in time, you want this to be off one tooth right here. So when you turn it, it goes into time. It's like one above that. So when you turn this, it'll turn clockwise, and it'll be in time. Alright guys, you gotta get these all in line. We're trying this. He made this the other day on a 3D printer. And in the back, you just gotta get them close and they stay. Alright, so if you're using your hydraulic tensioner and you use a vise and push it back so you line these holes up. You see that hole? And then that hole, you'll line them up. And then you use like anything really. A paper clip or anything, and you'll put it in there and hold it in place. You see how the pin holds that? Then you put it in there, and then you can put the pulley on that. Pushes on the pulley once you let this pin out. The little plastic piece that he made popped right out. So I've actually read that on a couple different forums that those timing gear holders or retentioners that they sell out of plastic, they never work right. So just do it this way with 2 wrenches. This isn't going to be like the best tutorial on how to do your timing. I'm just going to walk you through it real quick so you got an idea. He's going to turn these. It's in the middle of a compression. So you're going to line these up, and then I'm going to clamp the belt on with these and they'll hold themselves together.
Right there. Right there.
And then can you see how the pulleys with these clamps and the belts will hold these in time together? And then the back's pretty easy. There's no compression on that. And then double check your time. Make sure your timing marks didn't move. It's gonna be hard for me to show you on camera, but okay. Then once you check your time, you're gonna put the belt on the crank, and then you gotta put your tensioner pulley on, and then put the tensioner on there. It bolts in right here and right here, and then once it snaps around, it'll be on time. So you remember how we made it one off, and then just keep working your belt around so you can get your pulley on. Now get this bolt that holds this pulley on pretty snug. You can pretty much just tighten that up. And then you're going to loosen this up, and you have these eyes, these 2 holes right there, facing towards the front of the car. And it takes all the slack off. Here's your hydraulic tensioner. It's going to go into these 2 holes. One there and one there. It's hard to hold the camera and do this. And then once you pull that pin out, it'll tighten this up. And then Adrian bought this tool on eBay. It goes into the pulley, so you can put tension on it when you tighten it up.
You can use snap ring pliers in worst case scenario. This just is a little easier.
And then so the reason why you do 1 tooth off is because this tensioner will take all the slack out of the left side of the belt. And when you rotate this over by hand, you'll pull your slack back from the right side of the belt, and this will skip over one tooth.
There's two ways of doing it. You can torque this to 10 nanometers, which just, it's too hard to try and hold it and torque it. The other way is just pull until this pin, see if I go all the way off, it's tight, and get right in the middle till the pin is loose, and then torque it down. And then let go of everything. Make sure your pin is nice and loose. Leave the pin in until you rotate your 2 times. Check all your timing marks and make sure this is still loose. That tells you that everything stayed in time.
By the way, before I turn this over by hand, look at that nice bead. You see that? You guys remember before? There's a gap right there. Look at that nice solid bead of silicone all the way around. It got a little messy over here, but... Alright, we just looked it up. This tensioner bolt is 42 foot-pounds, so it's no joke, so torque it down, alright? Okay, I forgot to turn the camera on, but you're going to want to put a 1/2-inch wrench in here, turn it over at least 2 full revolutions. We did 4. And then you're going to want to make sure that timing mark's on. You see that line in the back? Right there, you see that line? Make sure that dot is in line with that line. And then you're going to check and make sure these are lined up. They are. Now I'm going to go down to check and see if the back's lined up. So the back one's definitely lined up. This front one's hard to see. The easiest way we found to do it is get a pick, put it on the one that's right, and slide it in. And then check the mark. Yeah, it's that one. Yep, we're good.
Pull that pin out.
Oh yeah, you gotta pull that pin out and make sure that didn't bind up. Pin right here. Yeah, it's loose. And now it's in time. Probably the worst explanation on how to do timing ever. I'm still scared to do it by myself, so. Alright, so it's all back in time. I still gotta put the pulleys on. I gotta put the timing cover back on. The belt's back on. I gotta take that valve cover off. Pretty sure I got everything under the car put back together. But everything else is gonna have to be in another video. There's gonna have to be a part 2 to this one. I didn't realize until last night how much footage I have. I'm gonna try to put out something Thursday and hopefully have this thing drive down the street Monday. That'd be sweet, right? Next Monday. So I will see you guys in the next video.